All right, buyer tip number 2, and this one's gonna be a long one. I'm gonna throw a lot at you, but we're gonna keep it really short and sweet. So this one is talking to your lender and get pre-approved. So important. So there are multiple things that we need to know before we even write an offer, because when we submit an offer, there is a 2-page financing amendment if you're getting a loan that we have to submit with the offer. And there's a lot of information we have to fill out on that form. So we have to have it prior to writing that offer, because if we're trying to get it while we're writing the offer, you could be missing out on the house of your dreams if someone else has already submitted their offer with all that information on there. So it's 100% something we can figure out in advance, so let's do that. So here's the things that we're gonna need to know and talk to your lender about. Here's the discussions you need to have. 1, what amount you're qualified for. This could be a range. This is also what you're comfortable paying with as far as a monthly payment. And the reason being is usually with a monthly payment, you've got your mortgage and interest, your homeowner's insurance, and your taxes all together, your real estate taxes on the house. They lump that together in one monthly payment. So depending on what the taxes are for that property can really make or break your affordability with the house. So we need to know really what that monthly payment range looks like, so we can take that into consideration when we're looking at houses, making sure that we're looking at houses that have that the real estate taxes appropriate for what you can afford as well. The next thing is going to be your type of loan. So there's conventional, VA, FHA, USDA. Some sellers can only accept offers with certain types of financing for their property. And we can dig deeper into that and what that means. But basically, I don't want you to fall in love with a property that you have a loan, that you qualify for a loan where the seller can't accept that type of loan. So we need to know in advance what type of loan you can qualify for, so then we know what houses we can go look at and write offers on. The next thing is, are you applying for any financial grants or assistance programs? Because that is also something we need to indicate on the financing amendment. That kind of goes along with your financing and the type of loan that you're getting. Do you need to sell your house in order to purchase the next house? There's kind of 2 ways about this. One, there's what you know that you can afford as far as like monthly payment, if you can make that stretch, having 2 houses, and the expenses that go along with that. But there's also whether the bank will loan you that money depending on your debt to income ratio. So honestly, regardless of whether you say, oh, I can totally do 2 home payments, it really depends on what the lender will allow, and whether they'll loan you the money on having that second house payment. So we got to get the lender involved early on that. Find out if you need to sell in order to purchase, or if you want to sell in order to purchase. It's called subject to sale. And we need to do that early on in the process so we can really plan accordingly. We do that every day. It's very common to do that. There's just some extra steps and logistics that we need to figure out from the get-go on making that work and a smooth transaction for you. Number 5, what is the amount down payment that you want to put down? This really depends on the type of loan that you have also, because certain types of loans require certain amounts different from others as far as the down payment. Number 6, what interest rate you're expecting to get. Yes, this is actually something we do need to indicate on the financing amendment, and it's actually for your own protection, so it's information we do need to have. Number 7, what is the term length of your loan? So 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, that's also important to put on there. Number 8, do you plan to buy any points to bring down your rate? Again, this is a conversation with your lender and whether or not that's appropriate for your financial situation. Number 9, do you have to ask for any closing costs to be covered by the seller? Sometimes your ability to qualify for the loan is contingent on sellers paying some of those closing costs for you, and that's something that we can do, but we need to plan accordingly to talk about what the numbers look like on your offer to still make your offer competitive if that's something we have to ask for. So there's your tips on the talking to your lender and getting pre-approved, and I'll see you at the next tip.